Do you want early access? Do you want uncut reactions? If so, then check out our Patreon. Link in the description down below. Well, it would seem that Endeavor is face-to-face with deflated All Might, and I'm not surprised he's like, hello there, former #1 hero. You're going to kick the guy while he's down when his last-ditch effort with the power that he had left was to stop All for One, some would consider the main villain of this entire damn thing.
I'm just saying, All Might probably still could kick the crap out of somebody. He may not want to push his luck. Just because he's skinny, he probably still knows how to fight.
But against Endeavor, who's literally always on fire.
I mean, I don't know.
Who knows? He'd probably pull a pocket fire extinguisher out and just be like, shh. I think he could figure out a way to fight back against Endeavor and make it interesting.
Pocket sand, but it's that stuff that makes fire go like whoosh and it just makes it explode.
Oh. You know, actually, non-dairy creamer is actually really good for that. That's actually what some people use as like primer in their like homemade explosives. Anyway, hey, pretend I didn't that you didn't hear that.
Yeah, if they watch Burn Notice, they already knew that.
True. Yeah, that's one thing about that show.
Christmas lights and non-dairy creamer.
We're moving on to episode 16 of My Hero Academia. We got queued up here. Let's give it a watch. Let's see what happens. Here we go.
We rented out this sports center in order to put you through some specialized training. Up until now, we've had 10 people in this remedial training class. But starting today, we'll have 11.
Showtime!
Oh, great.
You never should have failed the initial exam in the first place. Show these weaklings that you're in a completely different league.
This girl will be joining us from now on.
Hey, second year at Shiketsu. The name is Kami. Hi, everyone.
Right. So like the rest of you, she made it to the second exam. And she did well enough to take this supplemental class.
They said totes to making an exception for me, which is wicked coolio, you know? So anywho's, let's keep it fresh.
I have no idea what she just said.
I failed a test? I don't even remember taking a test. And you're saying I slept for 4 whole days? Oh my gosh, so embarrassing!
But the reports from the Yakuza raid are what really put things into perspective. I can't believe someone impersonated her. We need a new symbol of peace before things get even more dangerous.
And he's not it.
So, I've got even more disappointments
Nice suit,
today.
homie.
What shame you must feel to be standing before me.
He's-
There's something I've realized while observing your training thus far. There's nothing heroic about any of you. You're bottom feeders. Nothing but rotten fish turds.
Sir, yes, sir.
Do you even want to be a hero?
Well, first of all, I'm not a fish turd.
Wrong! How can a pile of excrement help humanity prosper?
Technically, fertilizer is integral.
Sir, yes, sir.
I am well aware that the 3 of you have impressive combat abilities. But that's all you have. If you hold out a hand to someone in trouble, will they take it? Not as you are now. You need a special connection with the person you're trying to rescue. Now, meet your opponent. Through this life or death battle, show that you can come to an understanding with them. That's the hurdle you face.
Oh, God. Okay.
I would quit. That's the end of My Hero Academia. My personal Hero Academia. That's where I would be like,
Nope.
I'm dropping out. I'm going to regular school. Fuck this shit. I cannot stand that many kids being that hyper. My anxiety will just literally make me have a heart attack and die probably.
My whole thing is I can match their level for like an X amount of time, but after that, I'm just like, okay, I just want to sit down, and they're just.
I
like,
could probably fake it for like 5 to 10 minutes based on like retail experience, and like the second I got it, like a second to talk to somebody, I'd be like, you have to get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I don't know how long I can maintain it, but I would try and maintain it as long as I could. But for me, dealing with my nephews and their friends, and also helping my mom out whenever she needed me, because my mom she was a primary school teacher, a middle school teacher, and a high school teacher at different intersecting points in her career, and I remember helping her out with the preschool kids. Good Lord. They made a mess. They had all these trays of things they were going to do for their artwork and stuff. The floor was covered. The floor was literally, you could not see the carpet anymore. It was literally covered with just like the glitter, the little pellets and all that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, whenever my mom was in charge of like Bible school crafts and stuff, because she's a very crafty person.
Yes.
She would specifically think ahead about stuff like that. Like, if I ever made suggestions, I'd be like, why don't we do, like, glitter or something? My mom would be like, no.
No.
She'd usually be like, that will make a huge mess. Like, my mom was smart about coming up with stuff that would be harder for little kids to make a huge mess out of.
Well, my mom eventually, like, whenever we moved up to, like, doing clay, you know, like clay and stuff like that, the only thing my mom had to make sure was that the kids weren't eating the clay. Because that's the one thing about it. You have those window lickers that eat the glue and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then you have the one kid who's just like, just for no reason. And mom was usually able to point them out. She had experience from someone.
Just a rite of passage. What are you talking about?
One of them looked like a little velociraptor kid.
These kids are from Masagaki Elementary School. Don't worry, we're taking responsibility for your students now.
Thank you for your help. A grown-up who thinks they can get their way by yelling, by not letting anyone else get a word in edgewise. Well, we're not impressed by that.
Who the hell's this punk?
Don't try to hide it! You're the five-wiener hero! Yes, you're the five-wiener! You jerk! You're dumb!
This I can handle. I can handle like getting punched and everything by the kids.
We didn't get a chance to see you in action at the exam. Also, to be honest, you seem like you wouldn't be very good at this.
Hey, Bo, that's so unfair. There, you see? I think the best thing to do is ignore her. I didn't know haters came this young.
Yes.
My class is full of problem children. No matter what I do, they refuse to listen.
By day's end, I believe my trainees will have changed your students. The four of you will accomplish this together. You must win the hearts of these unruly youngsters.
That's it! The MC and me can't take it anymore! Where's the mood music? And would it kill them to have some kind of color commentary? Yeah! Let's get this party started! Oh yeah! The smackdown between the future heroes and the Rugrats.
Okay, my little homegirls. Let's have fun. Ladies, let's go. We're gonna forget this floozy. Yeah, let's get out of here.
I'm not sure what there is to say between us. The number of crimes committed in the past month went up 3%. I resolved more incidents than anyone else, besting my own personal records. And yet, I can feel it. Some unseen thing that you built up in your prime is beginning to crumble. What does it mean to be a symbol? That's what I want to know.
Deep fish turds look like they've completely lost the beat and are flailing like flounder!
These early elementary school years are an important time for character development. Because the difference between children's quirks has a huge effect on their self-esteem, we offer counseling in order to support healthy emotional growth.
No.
Students in this class have completely closed their hearts to us. I hope meeting heroes who are working hard to achieve their dreams will help lead these kids down a more respectable path.
In other words, all we have to do is make friends. No problem. If they're not listening to her, then somebody else must be in charge here. There's definitely some kind of boss kid these little monsters are following. And then?
Pack mentality.
Beat him up and hang him from a post to make an example
No.
Throw rocks at them. It'll be the most effective way to make them realize what an insignificant pest their leader is.
I think that's actually...
Whichever one of you is the strongest, step up! Come fight me! Dial it back, son!
Such an outdated and violent way of solving problems.
Who wants to be a hero? Shiketsu takes the stage.
I do! They're cool! Yeah, I want to be super strong! Me!
It's the job of a hero to make sure everyone smiles. Think if you cause your teacher trouble, you're likely to become good heroes?
Since you gave the teachers and the commission guys more work by making them do this class, you can't become one either. Is that right?
No.
So a little violence is necessary.
Oh my gosh.
They're just kids. Huh? Well, that's how I was raised, and look, I turned out awesome.
That's to be my favorite thing he's ever said.
Yeah, that's funny. That was legit funny.
I'd already climbed to the number 2 spot by the time I was 20. Because I'd carved my own path, I understood. There was no way I was ever going to reach the top. If I'd only wanted the title of number 1, could have acted friendly towards everyone like you did. I actually wanted to be number one.
What is the symbol of peace, huh? I'm not certain how to explain it to you. I thought that this country needed a hero who could inspire them.
I need a hero.
So I ran toward that goal at full speed. When you walked through the streets back then, everyone was on edge. No matter how many heroes there were, the crime rate never went down. I understand the situation you've been placed in, and what's being said about you. There are many who can't help but dwell on our differences. It was my decision to become a symbol, but you don't have to do that. Instead, take your time and think about the kind of hero you want to be.
I know, right? A hot guy who likes kids, dreamy.
We don't want to be the same kind of ditz as her, so let's ignore him. Right.
Burn.
What kind of person am I? I need them to know that first, or nothing I say will reach them.
My name is not Five Weenies. I am Shoto from UA, and I want to be a hero. My father, Endeavor, is currently the #1 hero, but to be frank, I've always hated him and want to forge my own path in the world.
What is this? A character introduction phase? Come on!
Boring.
Journal fail!
Sorry.
Wouldn't it be faster if we, just showed them how cool all our quirks are?
I was just about to suggest that!
No matter what they try, it won't work. Because we know the truth. Our mommies and daddies, and everyone on TV, they're all wondering if the age of heroes is over.
Careful! Don't hurt them! We're better than you, and we'll take you down to prove it!
Oh, then bring it on! I have decided to assist you! Say what? As President Mike should already have deduced, if my peers fight seriously, the children will be left beaten, ashamed. If they use their discretion and let the children shine, then it will only make the delinquents even more brazen. Abandoning discourse will result in failure.
Hold on! I don't think you all know how dangerous this is! They won't hold back against your trainees!
So his, so that one kid's power is literally he can summon, miniature chain chomps. Okay.
I honestly know some kids like that.
Some little brats?
Yeah.
Well, got par for the course. I mean, honestly, I've had the crap kicked out of me by, my little cousins and my nephews and everything. My nephew Case is an absolute, no pun intended, head case. Because all he does is just, try and tackle you. That's all he wants to do, just tackle you, just ha ha. He wants to prove how strong he is.
Yeah.
And me, I remember one time I didn't put him in place, but I made him realize, yeah, you're not that strong, kid. I remember he was on my leg, and he was I remember he bit down on my hand right here when I reached down to try and pull him off, and he reached his head back and just bit down, and I'm just okay. I yanked him up by his shorts, and I'm just you gonna do that again? Are you want to do that again? Because I can bite too, and my mouth's a lot bigger than yours. You want to try? Okay, all right. I put him down, and he ran off, and I'm just there you go. You see, sometimes you have to be stern with children in order to make them realize, yeah, this type of behavior is not acceptable. You have to be stern with them. You have to. Discipline is not abuse. Abuse is when literally a child is doing nothing. For instance, here, I'll show you a perfect example of child abuse.
Which now, basically everyone is trying to say that, any kind of whippings at all is child abuse, and that you can't discipline kids that way anymore.
Yeah.
You can't make the argument, that, I turned out as, a good citizen, and my parents beat me, because people just turn around, they're obviously, if you think it's okay to beat kids, you didn't turn out that well.
No, that's not the case. It's discipline, because the thing is, you can talk, there's some kids you can just talk to. There's some kids, they develop to where, just talking to them can be the right path and way of doing it. But, there is the context of people going too far. There was actually an episode of Southland, which, this kid literally called the cops on his mom. He didn't provide any context to what happened. He said, "My mom hit me," and then all of a sudden the cops show up and they're just like, "All right, ma'am, we received a report from the child that you were abusing him. Tell us what happened." And she goes, "You really called the cops on me?" And he's like, "It's illegal, Mom." And then the cop is literally just like, "Where did she hit you? And did she hit you with anything?" And he's like, "Yeah, she whipped me across the butt with a belt like once or twice." And the cop is literally just like, Did she hit you anywhere else? Like, what did you do that made her hit you? And he's like, I broke the vase on the table after she told me to stop, and I'm sorry it broke, but there's no reason for her to whip me. And then all of a sudden the cop just literally goes back to his partner, tells him what's going on, and then he walks back and takes his belt off and he hands it to the mother and says, "Hit him again." To which the kid's just like, but it's illegal. And he's like, "Kid, you know what abuse is? Abuse is your dad putting out a cigar in your neck because he ran out of booze and was looking to hit something. You want me to tell you all about that? Because I'll tell you all about it. Because that's the shit I went through. Be thankful you got a mother who cares." And then he's just like, "All right, we're leaving." And then the woman's like, "You want your belt back?" And he's just like, "Nope, I'll get another." Just like, Jesus.
My mom hit me with a flip-flop one time and then only ever had to threaten after that for anything.
Oh.
I never got spanked the second time. Basically, I never got ISS. I rarely was in trouble with any of the teachers. I had to write pages one time because I forgot my advanced reading book in my locker.
See, that's like dumb petty stuff.
I have no criminal background at all. Like
the school system's so full of crap with some of the punishments they deal out for like kids that are locked in a room for 8 hours and have to sit still and like memorize crap. Like that's so ridiculous.
Yeah, and my mom, where she was a teacher, got all like the stories told to her by the other teachers. I got in trouble a lot. Some teachers saw me as a troublemaker. And in all honesty, I loved it whenever I proved them wrong. Like Mr. Short, the history teacher, failed me, but then I took the SOL and I scored like a 592, which is like almost perfect. And and begrudgingly, because of like the mandate of the test being more important than the actual class, he had to pass me. And I'll never forget that. And also, I'll never forget when a kid threatened to bring a gun to school and shoot people, and then I was around him. I wasn't even in the conversation. I was like sitting 2 rows in front of him, and I heard him say it, and I like looked back, and I'm just like, Jesus, man, like, what's wrong with you? And then all of a sudden, I'm dragged into the office with like all those kids who were in that conversation, like 3 of them plus me, and I get suspended for a day.
What?
Because of that. I got suspended from school for a day.
How?
Because apparently people saw me sitting around them, saw me look back, and they said that I said something, and they just assumed guilt. And then my mom, when I talked to my mom about it, they didn't even ask me questions. They just said, "Yeah, we're going to suspend you from school for the day."
The hell?
And then I told my mom what happened. My mom goes back to the school the same day that I'm suspended for, and she chews them out, asking if like did you even ask him what he said? Did you even like ask anyone else around him what he said, if he was even part of it? And then they were just like, "Well, we just didn't want to like have a violent outburst or anything like that." And I'm just like, and here's the thing: when I got in trouble, it was for usually like prank stuff. Like me and Justin South, who was a much bigger troublemaker than me. We got in trouble a couple times for like playing pranks on people. We did the water prank. He brought he found a screwdriver and we tightened up the nut on the little water spout, and whenever you hit the thing to turn the water fountain on, it would literally like shoot all the way up to the ceiling almost. and we got in trouble for that. You know, it was just wasn't anything like terrible. We didn't like try and burn the school down. But again, public schools, everybody, ain't they fun? No. Short answer, no. No, they're not fun.
The quote-unquote justice system in public school is complete bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. There's several systems in this country that I'm very unhappy with. School system, justice system, the tax system. I mean, just a lot of things. You know, everyone who says, you know, Americans, you just, trust me, we're not happy with this lot either, guys. Yeah, any outsiders looking in. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna end it here. So again, everyone, thank you all for tuning in. This was My Hero Academia Season 4, Episode 16. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and hopefully we'll see you all on the next one. Until then, I'm Nate.
Micah.
I am Nick.
We'll see you then, everybody. Peace out.